Quick, what's this red thing I have up here on the board? What's that called? This red graph here. I'm not trying to confuse people. It's called a line, right? It's called a line. Last year, you were probably introduced to this blue graph. That's called a parabola, right? So you know about a line, you know about a parabola. Now what I'm going to show you today is about a circle. How can you graph a circle? Grab your calculators. Go ahead. Go to the graphing section of your calculator. Go to the graph part. Make sure it's all cleared out, please. If something's in there, clear it. Here you go. So let me give you a little taste of what a circle is. Parenthesis for me. Parenthesis. In that parenthesis, let's do x minus 1. Close it and square it. Okay, so x minus 1 all squared plus, open up another parenthesis for me. Put a y in there for me. Put a y. Let's go minus 2. Let's go plus 2. Y plus 2 in there. Close it and square it. And equals. Hit your equal button there. Let's put a 4 there. Let's put a 4 there. Okay, after you hit enter there, everyone see it should come up in your calculator's telling you, oh, that you want me to graph a circle. Okay, make sure you have everything typed in correctly if it's not saying it's a circle. All right, because it's probably user error. We're all good? All right, go ahead, take a look at what that bad boy looks like. Go ahead, plot the graph down below. All right, little scrunch circle, but we got it. All right, some of you guys I'm on might be on a different settings, but you guys looks like have a pretty big circle there. Should I go? Let me go auto. Hey, there it is. There it is. All right, so that's going to be the equation. Go ahead, go back for me now. Hit the back button so you can a couple times. This is the equation of a circle is going to come in. All right, so anytime we ask for the equation of a circle, it's going to look like that. 2 parentheses squared with an x and a y plugged in. Now, do you see the 3 numbers I asked you to type in? 1, 2, and 4. Those are pretty darn important for the circle. All right, they actually have some relation to the circle, the 1, 2, and the 4, and I asked you to plug in. So let's go back to your note so I can explain to you what the 1, 2, and the 4 mean. H and K. Here's the equation without the numbers plugged in. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. H and K. When you put those two together, they form a coordinate, an x and a y coordinate, h and k. That represents the center of your circle. So those numbers that I plug in for h and k, that's going to represent the center of the circle. So whatever numbers you see plugged in, you take them out, put them in as a point, and that represents the center. And then there's one other piece, because remember I said there was 3 numbers. On the other side, you're going to see a number. Not r squared, but just the r value. And I think most of you, if I had you guess, would be correct because we are in the circle unit. What do you think r represents? Radius length. Yes, that's the length of the radius. That's over on the right side. That's my radius length. So you will see 3 numbers plugged in. 3 numbers. H and K, which are the center, and then a number plugged over here, which is the radius squared. So those are the 3 values that I need help with plugging in. And I have good news about this when we do our first one. Real good news for you. And also, too, I want you to write this down here, the name of this here. This is, it's very clever. Ready for this one? This is called the center radius form of a circle. Center radius form. All right, this equation called the center radius form. Because, Drew, right, it has the center and it has the, unbelievable, these mathematicians, huh? It's called the center radius form. Because I'm going to give you another form later on today in class that's not center radius. All right, let's do this. First equation here of the day. Write me a circle equation that's got a center of 3, -3, and a radius of 6. All right, here we go. We start with our parenthesis. First parenthesis. Remember, the 3 and 3, -3, that's your h, right? And the -3 is your k value. So in the first parenthesis, I'm going to have x minus, what's my h value? 3. So there you go. Squared. Everyone all right? I just plugged the h value in. All right, I need your help with a little mathematics here now. Plus, what's going to go in the other parenthesis? Y. Now take a look. It's minus k. So if I go y minus a negative 3, what are you going to see in the parenthesis? Y plus 3, right? Because it's y minus your k value. My k value is negative 3. Put the two together, I get a plus. Squared equals, now be careful here. I said the radius was 6. Hey, look it up here. No. Look at the formula. What do you need to plug in? The radius squared. So I don't want to see a 6 here. And you know what? You're above average math students. So I don't want to see 6 squared either. Darn it, find it out. 6 squared? I don't want to see 6 squared there. Let's see 36 there now. All right, so on the right side, I put r squared, the radius squared there. I said there was good news. We're done. We're done. I know some of you are thinking a little more advanced and being like, oh, I got to do this. Nope. That's it. We're done. This is center radius form. That's what I want. I don't need to go any further. Please don't go any further. You are done. Congratulations. Whew. That was only the first one. I'm out of breath, sweating already. Everybody good on that first one? One doesn't make you great. Let's move on. Part B. Now I'm going to give you a graph. What's the equation of this circle I graphed? All right, well, I need the center first. So somebody, can you pluck off the center? It's not 3, 3. 3, 3 is on the circle. Somebody pluck off the center there. All right, let's get this train going. The center there. Bryson, what's the center of that circle? 1, 3. 1, 3. All right, let's plug it in now. What's going to go in the first set of parentheses now? If my center is 1, 3, what's going to go in there? Let's start. Vinny. X. Whoa. Got to plug my h value in, right? Which is the first coordinate of the center. Okay, why are you doing plus 1? It's x minus the h value. Oh, minus 1, right? X minus whatever the h value is, which is 1. Done. Plus, what goes in the second set of parentheses with your y? Let's roll. Jonathan, what do you think here? Y minus 3 squared. You guys are just seeing you're plugging in the opposite of the center. That's gonna be true. Equals. All right, I don't want to plug a 2 there. 2 is not r squared. What's the r squared value? Oh, there we go, Stellan. 4. So I want to see a 4 there. See a 4 there now. And there's your look. If I'm not, because it's going to waste time. But if I said, all right, go to your calculator and graph this, we're going to see this circle. Okay, we are going to see that circle. Questions yet before we go to a third one? Yeah, go ahead, Lou. What's good?
Why is the coordinate 3, 3 there if we don't use it?
Because, well, here's why. It should have been, because see how the radius was 2 away? So if you go 3 units and you go 2 this way, you're going to end up at 1, 3. Okay. So that's why. I know you guys can just go like this and this, but the reason I gave you the 2 was so you can hopefully go this way 2 units and realize that you're at 1, 3. That's why.
Thank you.
Yep. Good question. All right, how about part C? A circle with the center at 0, -2, and a radius, a radical 26. All right, what should go in the first set of parentheses here with the x? You'll be right. You be right. Be confident. Bailey, what's going to go in there?
X minus 0.
Yep, that's fine. I'm going to come back to this, though, at the end. All right, I'm going to come back to this, but this is correct. X minus 0 squared plus what's going to go in the next set of parentheses with the y? Where are we going? Henry, what's good here? Yes, everyone see why it's changing the plus. Y minus a -2. Make sure, please, you're squaring each of them. Don't leave the square off. All right, if you got to do it in your calculator, do it. Because, hey, it's not this. I don't want that. That's the radius. I want the radius squared. All right, so I want the radius length squared over here. So what number is going to pop up over here? Oh, boy, where are we going? Micaiah? Oh, no, hold on. Go again. Dylan? 26. Put it in your calculator. Radical 26 squared. That's where we're getting that number from, the radius squared. I'm not done here. I would accept this as an answer 100%. Accept this. But you're never going to see this, though. You're never going to see it written like this. Here's why. Go back over here. You're not going to see x minus 0 all squared. It's going to be simplified. X minus 0. X minus 0. It's just x. So you're not going to see this. You'll see this instead. Okay? You'll just see x squared. So that tells you, oh, the x coordinate must have been 0 if nothing's with it. All right, so I don't want you to freak out tonight if you just see, or, hey, you might just see that by itself, which tells you the y coordinate must have been 0. All right? Questions? All right, we up the difficulty level a little bit around here. So let's do it. All right, can you write the equation of this one? So I didn't spoon feed you the center and the radius. I just spoon fed you the radius. I mean the center. How the heck are we going to get the radius out of this? Let's see. -3, -2, that's the center. And 1, you guys have a different one. You guys have 1, 3. Thank you. There we go. Oh, somebody's going to be real happy in here, and it's the guy up front, not the people sitting down. Going to get real happy here in a second. Can you do half the equation for me? I gave you the center, so can we write at least half the equation? The side to the left of the equal sign? What's going to go in the first set of parentheses with your x? What's going to go in there, Bailey?
X plus 3
Good job. Good start. X plus 3 squared. What's going to go in the second set of parentheses with the y? Let's go over to Alyssa. What do you got there? Y plus 2. Perfect. So the only thing I didn't feed you was the radius length. Somehow we're going to have to use this given information to find the radius length. Visually, let me show you what we have. We have the center, and we have a point that is on the circle, right? Here's a point on the circle. So there's our circle. All right, that's what our circle looks like if I had to use a compass and graph it, but I'm not. Whoa. I think we got something here. What's that right there? It's the radius, and I need the length. So I could square it and put it in there. I need the length. Anybody? I need the length. Yeah! Yesterday, quadratic formula. Today, distance formula. Let's do it. All right, everyone good. This is the radius. So once you find the length, you can square it and finish the darn formula. Why do we have to do this every single unit? Because I like seeing you miserable. That's why. Brings me joy. All right, take both the x coordinates of the center and the point it goes through. Subtract them in either order. Doesn't matter to me. Subtract them in either order. Hopefully we're all getting out the same distance. I'll ask somebody in a second what they get, because you can type it in your calculator the entire time. I just want to know the distance. Don't get ahead of me and square it and put it in the equation yet. Just tell me the distance of the radius, the length of the radius here. When you have it, what's the length of the radius when you have it? Simplest radical form, length of the radius, Jonathan, when you have it. Good job, radical 41. So that's the length of the radius, but that's not what's going into your equation. What's going into the equation to finish it? If I know square root of 41 is the length, then I would have Alexi as the r squared value. 41, yep. So everyone go back up. It's equal to 41. Any questions? All right, do we feel a little comfortable here? Because I'm going to go backwards now, meaning I will give you the equation. You guys now have to tell me what the center and radius is now. All right, so I'll give you the equation. What's the center and radius? And we're going to do it by graphing. All right, I'd like you to graph this circle, not on your graphing calculator, though. All right, we don't need the graph. Plus, you graph it on the graphing calculator, it's going to be kind of, where's the center? Where's the radius? What?
It says we need a compass.
Yeah, you don't. Freehand it. All right, I didn't want to. You guys are bringing in the compass tomorrow. All right, I don't care about graphing. I care about can you find the center and radius. All right, so that's what we need. If I'm going to ask you to graph this circle, the first thing I need is, okay, what's the center of this circle and what's the radius length? And then I will show you how to graph it. All right, there's the deal. Two of you get the center and radius, and I'll show you how to graph it. So given that equation up there, what must have been the center? For me to have an equation of x minus 2 and y plus 1. What must have been my center up here? Stella, what must have been the center?
-2, 1.
Be careful. If the center was -2, wouldn't that be +2?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So it'd be, +2.
And
-1.
okay. Are you guys you just take the opposites, right? Just take the opposites or put the opposites back in. Everyone all right with that center? All right, what must have been the radius then? The r value, the radius length, not r squared, the radius length. Ooh, Dylan, I got a 36 up there, but that's r squared, so what must have been the radius? Makes sense, everybody? Remember, this is r squared. And we're looking for the radius length, so it must have been 6 that I squared to get 36. Questions before I show you how to graph it? All right, first thing, graph the center. Go ahead, graph your center once you find it. 2, -1. Now we're going to use the radius to find 4 more points on the circle. We're going to use the radius to find 4 more points. So if the radius is 6, all right, go up 6 from the center, right? Go up 6 because that's what the radius starts from the center. Go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a point on the circle. And I said 4 points. How can I get 3 more?
So on the other direction.
Right, left, up, and down. Right, go 6 right, left, and down from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yes, you can freehand it. Go ahead. I don't know. I was thinking about walking around being critical, but I didn't ask you to bring in a compass today, so there you go. Make sure it looks like a circle. What? Yeah, I'm not even going to comment, Brendan. Rhombuses were a couple units ago. All right. Oh my God. Maybe I should break out the compasses. All good? Ooh. All right, it's going to get messy now. It's going to get messy. Something different right away, huh? Something different. That's not center radius form that we're used to, is it? But I still need the center and the radius from that. So we all agree that's not the form we're used to. So nobody in here can tell me what the center and the radius is just looking at that. Nobody can. It's not there. This, just so you know, this is called standard form of a circle. All right, that's called standard form when the x's and y's and everything are all on one side. We are going to go very, very slow here. Very slow. Because here's what needs to happen. I need to take standard form and help you convert it into center radius form. So I need this form, standard form, to look like that. Because I think all of us in here are comfortable. If you knew circle radius, you can get the center and radius pretty easily. So how are we going to convert this into what we've been doing today? I'm going to say something that comes from Algebra 1, and you can say, oh, I never did it, or you may remember it. to convert standard form into one we're familiar with, we are going to do a process called completing.
Square.
Whoa, so we have heard about it. All right, we are going to do completing the square. Some of you don't remember anything about it. That's fine. That's why I'm going to go through this slow. First step. Here we go. First step to complete the square. And again, we are completing the square, so this form looks like the form we're familiar with. I need the single number over to the other side. It's over there, right? All right, so the number without a variable, I need always over to the other side, which it is. I need you to rewrite it now with the x's grouped together and the y's grouped together. All right, here's what I mean. So take x squared, and I need to make sure that it's paired with the other term that has an x, which is negative 8x. All right, everybody stop. Don't keep writing. Stop. Right now, does everyone, you remember the a and b value? A value, b value. To this, in a minute, I'm going to add a c value to that pairing. And I'll show you how I get it. Plus, can you please group the y's together now? So plus y squared plus 2y. And just like we did for the x's, we're going to add a c value to the y's. All equal to negative 8. So make sure the single numbers to the other side, the x's are grouped together, and the y's. There's your first step. Second step, how do I find the new c values? Okay, how do I find the new c values? Does anybody just want to show off because you remember from last year how to find the c values, the new ones? Anybody before I? Okay, ready. Let's find the new c value for the x's. Here's the process. You take your, and I want you to do this in your head or you can do it on your calculator. Take the b value. What's the b value for the x's? Negative 8. Ready? In your head, on your calculator. Cut it in half. Take half your b value. Everyone got that number in your head? And square it. I don't know if that's starting to sound familiar or not. That's your new c value. You take half your b value and square it. What number am I going to put in there for the c value? Positive 16. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. When you square negative 4, you get 16. And before I go to the y's, I can't stress this enough. These new c values, always positive. Because anytime you square a number, it's always positive. All right, let's go over here. Let's go over to the y's to find your new c value. Everyone, what's your first? Tell me what the b value is. 2. Everyone in your mind, cut it in half. And then square that number. What's your new c value? 1. Cut it 2 in half and square it, you get 1. So that's how you find the c values. We got a problem though, and you need to find a solution. Ready? It's the only time I do this all year. Before we found 16 and 1, this is what we were right here. We were just like this before we found the 16 and 1. And then we wrote 16 and 1 in, and then we did this. What am I talking about here? This is where we were before we found 16 and 1. And then we put 16 and 1 in, and now we're here. Again, soak this in. Little teapot action here. Last time, what am I talking about? Slope. Jesus. No.
No longer.
Unbalanced.
Yeah, I'm unbalanced. I was equal, right? I was balanced. I added 16 and 1 to this side. Now I'm unbalanced. What am I trying to tell you? To the negative 8, what do we still need to do? Keep it balanced. So whatever c values you add to the left, make sure they are added to the right to keep everything balanced. Whatever you add to the left, we got to add to the right to keep it balanced. All right, let's keep going here. Now where the fun begins. All right, what number do we get on the right here? Negative 8 plus 16 plus 1. What number? Oh. Perfect little number there, huh? This is still a hot mess, though. All right, you're probably like, how in the world am I going to get this to look like that. Oh, ready for the magic? It's factor time. Yes, factor time. Take your x's right now. X squared minus 8x plus 16. Take those three right there. Anybody know two numbers that multiply to 16 but are going to give me a negative 8 when I add them? Two numbers that multiply to 16, positive 16, and add to negative 8. What do you got there, Stellan? What two numbers again?
Negative 4.
So Stellan's like, wait a second. That's x minus 4 and x minus 4. Anybody know a fancy way of writing these two here? X minus 4 times x minus 4? Really? It would be x minus 4.
Square.
Ho ho! Oh, okay. Now I'm starting to feel you here. Now we're starting to see this circle equation come together. Yes, x minus 4 times x minus 4 is the same as writing x minus 4 squared. Plus, everybody take that grouping of y's right now. Ready? Two numbers, multiply to 1, but add, okay. Two numbers that multiply to 1. I don't care what comes out of my mouth next, but adds to 2. Two numbers that multiply to 1. Two numbers that multiply to 1. 1 and 1. Wait a second. So y plus 1 and y plus 1. How can I rewrite that? And look what we have right in front of your face now. And by the way, when you factor, these should always be the same inside the parentheses. Always. Because that's the only way I'm going to rewrite them squared. And look at what we have here. Our circle equation, finally. All right. Pick off the center and the radius. Here you go. Now that we transformed it. What is the center of this circle going to be? The center? Shara, center of the circle. 4, negative 1. Good work. And how about the radius length of this circle? The radius length. Vinny, radius length? Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Remember, this number is r squared, right? In the equation. 3. Yeah, don't be silly, right? 3. Good. You make mistakes, you're not going to make them again, I bet. All right, so graph the center, 4, negative 1. And I'm sure Vinny wasn't the only one thinking 81, by the way. I've seen some of your math. 1, 2, 3, up, down, left, right. And if you ever wanted to check it, you can plug standard form into your graphing into the grapher, and it'll give you that circle. Okay, if you ever wanted to check that you got the circle in the right spot. Good, more respect. Good job.
Better circle.
Yeah, yes, a lot more respect. Good job. Way to get some self-respect, because that last one was just embarrassing. I thought you'd probably put your pen in your mouth to draw that. All right, one doesn't make you great. All right, one doesn't make you great. Here you go, another standard form that we need to put into center radius. So first step, get your x's and y's together, move the single number over to the other side. So rewrite this. X squared, pair it with 8x, plus the new c value, plus y squared, minus 14y, plus the new c value. And again, got to get the 40 over. Make sure the 40's over. So negative 40 on this side. Questions yet? All right, now it's time to find the new c values. Take half the b value and square it. Always should be positive. What you get out is the c value. Take half the b values and square them to get your new c value. Find them, and I'll ask what the new c values are. Tess, relax. What's the new c value on the x's?
16.
There you go, 16. Good work. What's the new c value on the y's? Ooh, going deep, Simon.
49.
Good job, 49. And again, this is, in all seriousness, most common mistake kids make, they keep it unbalanced. Okay, they keep it unbalanced. Whatever you added to the left, we gotta add to the right. So you gotta add 16 and 49 to the right side. Let's see, oh boy, that's a 9. 25. Nice little number there. All right, now it's time to factor each. And remember, when you're doing this, when you factor, those numbers should be the same. Two numbers that multiply to 16 but add to 8. What do you have there? X plus 4 plus 4? Good. So x plus 4 squared. And over here, two numbers that multiply to 49 but add to negative 14. What are those numbers? That's a little tougher. Bailey?
-7 and
Negative 7, negative 7. And I'll show you this trick because I like some of you in here, not all of you, but some of you. So I'll show you this trick. If you're ever concerned with factoring, and it worked, it would have worked for the last problem too. Does anybody see the relationship between your B value and what you ended up putting in the parenthesis? It's always half, yeah. Okay, it's always half. Whatever the B value was, you're going to put half of it in the parenthesis. If you want to remember that. If not, factor it. It's still fine. All right, let's finish this beast up. How about the center of this circle? Center of this circle, shoom, Henry. Yep, -4, +7. And how about the radius length? Radius length, Shara? 5, yep. I think it goes off your graph a little bit. Sorry about that. And there it is. Okay. Take a look at the assignment tonight. The directions in the textbook say to graph, but I don't want you to graph. I just want you to find the center and the radius. All right, so no graphing needed tonight. Compass straight edge tomorrow.